Oh, you're on mute.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate that. Thank you so very much, Mythic. As always, man, thanks so much. Welcome, everybody. Happy Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about what we just saw today. Breaking news happening in the world of the Arizona Cardinals. And of course, I had to get my guy Mythic on here. Now, real quick update before we get started, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about, but we do actually have a channel now for this specific podcast. Now, in terms of a schedule, we're going to come out with that here, TBD, but we're going to be doing at least two podcasts per week pertaining to me and Mythic. Go ahead and go over to the Big Red Pod. Now, if you're watching this on the AZ Sports Fan, once we're done with the stream, you won't be able to watch this back, but you can go to the Big Red Pod YouTube channel, subscribe it up, and basically watch it on the replay right there. So if you're new, appreciate you guys for being here. Smack the like button. We're going to get started here. Before we do, Mythic, man, how are you doing?
I was doing good, and then I woke up and saw that our franchise quarterback is still not ready to return. He will not be activated. And, the mood goes from up here, you're having the best day ever, and then it just kind of flatlines. Like, really? Still not coming back yet? Multiple weeks is the part that really got me.
Yeah. Now, guys, if you guys don't know, we ended up putting out a video. Now, I'm pretty sure Mythic, you went ahead and dropped your own video on your own channel as well as my own. We wanted to dissect this here together to find out like exactly what is going to happen here with the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, we do got a first contribution here of the day. We got Ethan coming up clutch saying, "Give me the Dobb father as the new Gino." We'll dive into all this here, ladies and gentlemen. I know there is a lot to be said about the idea of maybe Joshua Dobbs being the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. We'll see, right? We'll see. Now, if you guys don't know, this is what we're talking about. We got breaking news coming out here in the world of the Arizona Cardinals. Adam Schefter dropped a bombshell here for Cardinal fans, and it says this: Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray is not expected to come off the physically unable to perform list when he becomes eligible on Monday and is still considered weeks away from playing, league sources told ESPN. Mythic, what are your thoughts, man? Go ahead.
Oh, wow. I thought at the very least, I think we both kind of thought that Kyler was going to come back and he was just going to, at least at the very minimum, be activated. I don't think we necessarily saw him coming in and playing week 5. I kind of just threw that out there, kind of just like hoping. Yeah. But the fact that he's still multiple weeks away, it's like, where's the rehab stand at? Like, I have a lot of questions that I would love to have answered. Obviously, they're not going to come out and tell us, but I would love to know where Kyler is at rehab. Is he going to make the 21-day window? Like, is he going to be eligible to return this season? Like, are they really going to hold him out? Are the rumors going to be true? Like, there's a lot that I would love to have answered right now, and we don't have that, but we just know he's not coming back right now, and it sucks.
Yeah, I think the way that you're describing this, right, that the the feeling that you're feeling, I'm feeling the exact same way, right? The positivity that we got coming into the season. Now, obviously, hearing it from a player with Kyler Murray saying the week or the goal is week 1. Now, obviously, I think we all kind of knew week 1 wasn't attainable, but right, he's a player. He's going to say all these things because he's a competitor. He wants to be there out there with his guys. But to me, we're hearing all these things. Now, I'm not going to throw this on JG. He's been very, very keep things close to the vest as much as he possibly can. But we had Monty Ossenfort going on 98.7 this last Friday saying that he will not hesitate to remove Kyler Murray off the PUP list, obviously when he's ready to go. But the idea that he's not yet ready to go right now, like, I'm not saying go play a game. I'm not saying go play. I'm saying practice. I'm saying practice. Right. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying, because, like, he's not even eligible to, like, literally practice. He can't even get practice reps in. That's why I was so ready, like, to see him activated at the least, because you see him doing explosive training. You see him doing all this stuff and getting ready. He posted on his Instagram and his TikTok soon that he's coming back. Like, it was, like, all, like, the subliminal messages and everything was adding up. You have Monty hopping on 98.7 saying he won't hesitate to pull him off as soon as he's ready. And it kind of has you questioning, like, is Kyler Murray... like, is he really that far along in rehab, or does he really need another month? Is it going to be another 4 games that we're not going to see Kyler, or is it going to be 1 week? Yeah. It could vary, but I don't know where we stand right now. And it's such a bizarre situation because I didn't see it playing out like this.
Yeah, I didn't either. Honestly, I think when we're really thinking about it here as Cardinal fans, now I know there's some confusion going on here in the chat. Just to go ahead and be very specific, the NFC West network that was once this channel anymore, unfortunately, is no longer a thing. It is being taken over here by the Big Red Pod, and it is basically Cardinals content moving forward. So just FYI, if you don't know, now you know. We ended up putting a community post about it, but just keeping you guys up to date. But yeah, continue to talk about this Kyler Murray thing. I think this thing is very, very. I have a comment here from one of my subscribers here on the AZ Sports Fan that actually painted this perfectly. And he ended up telling me this. So obviously the PUP list has gone through changes after COVID and all this different stuff. A lot of things have changed. Now, this is the most recent 2023. So the actual PUP rule. PUP players must sit out the first 4 weeks of the regular season. We know that. At that point, teams have a 5-week window in which to allow the players to begin practicing. From the day the players begin practicing, teams have an additional 21-day window in which to decide whether to activate the player to the 53-man roster. If either of those deadlines passes, the player must remain on the PUP list for the remaining of the season. Now, I know I kind of said a lot of things there, right? The first part is an indication that obviously Kyler Murray is eligible to come back this coming Monday, right? And we were hoping as Cardinal fans, or at least some of us were hoping that he was going to be eligible to come off this coming Monday. But with this report saying that he's not even coming off this Monday, we have an additional 21 days from Monday, which is 3 weeks. And if the Cardinals do not decide to remove him off the PUP list, he has to be on there for the remaining of the season. Thoughts on that, Mythic?
Man, it's crazy. Like I said, like you just don't know how this is going to play out. We had the rumor earlier in the beginning of the year talking about that Kyler Murray's not going to play this season. That kind of got shut down by a lot of people, a lot of Cardinals insiders, a lot of people within the organization kind of shut that down. Like when he's ready to play, they're not going to hesitate to pull him off. And then you don't see him get activated. And that's kind of step one of just like, you never know. You really have no idea how this is going to play out. I still think he's going to play, but it's just like, when is it? Like, he's not even practicing yet. And that 21-day window, like, say we get 3 weeks down the line and it doesn't happen, that's step 2. And then if he doesn't play, it's just, I don't even want to think like that, because because you just got to see how he plays. Like, even if the goal is to trade Kyler Murray, which I don't want, right?
Right.
Not even putting him on the field hurts us more than anything. So at the end of the day, I think you're going to play him. Or at least I hope, because I still think in this offense, Kyler is going to absolutely thrive. But it's just not a good look. It's not a good indicator of where we're heading. And I don't know. If he's not ready, he's not ready, though. You don't put him out on the field if he's not 100%. 100%. That's just how it is.
Oh, 100% agree. Yeah, we're not coming off here saying Kyler Murray needs to be on the field, rush him. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, wow, there is worrisome to be on top of the idea that he's not even ready to practice, right? Not play a game, but practice.
Exactly.
That's kind of where we're at. Because you could remove somebody off the PUP list and then activate them to the 53-man roster. Now, there is an indication here that if he does obviously go to the 53-man roster, somebody needs to get booted off, right? Because right now we have a 53-man roster. We just elevated, I believe, Clark Clement, as well as Banks. I think it's Eric Banks. I think Keontae Ingram's not playing Sunday. I'm just going to throw that out there. Exactly. I don't think he's playing. But continue to talk about Kyler Murray, we will have to remove somebody off the 53-man roster to make room for him. So maybe if it's one of those things that's later on in the week, we might. But like, we had 21 days from Monday, which is 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's not a long time. That's not even a month. Not even a month to begin practicing. So as soon as he's activated, he's able to practice. But the fact he's not even like, I don't know how it works, but I remember players talking about I don't even know if you can even be in the building or like on the team practicing. Like, you can't step on the field. Like, you can be in the building, like rehabbing, but I don't know if you're allowed on the sidelines. I'm not sure how that works. I might be wrong, but yeah, it's a crazy situation. Like, you want him on the field as soon as he's ready. And I'm not saying rush him back whatsoever. Again, if he's not 100%, don't rush him out. Selfishly, I would love to see him as a just Arizona Cardinals fan and just like a diehard, but it's not Madden. You can't just turn injuries off. You can't just speed up rehab processes and blase. But at the end of the day, like, it's crazy. I just want to know where he is in his rehab right now. It's just like a very interesting like thought process, because Zach Ertz, who tore his ACL, is back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, okay, well, here's the thing. Like, Kyler Murray has been doing things that we haven't seen. Like, I get it. Usually it takes a while, right? It's a big major injury that he ended up going through. So we're not trying to discredit what he actually went through. It's the honest truth. But like, I don't know. Like with this move, let me know if you feel the same way, Mythic. Do you think that there is something that the Cardinals truly want to see what Joshua Dobbs can do? Because of the whole Geno Smith situation, right? Resurrecting his career with them. And now we're kind of dealing with the situation where Joshua Dobbs is our quarterback. Do you think the Cardinals are taking that approach and not rushing Kyler Murray with the thought of maybe if there's a package out there to kind of trade him away, or even risking his injury? Because I know there's one thing that's been floated around as well, as the fact that some people don't want him to come back because they don't want to risk injury for Kyler Murray. And if there is another injury, there's an injury settlement that the Arizona Cardinals need to pay him. So like there's also that aspect of it all where it's kind of a lot to think about.
Jeez, dude. I don't know. I don't know if Josh Dobbs is going to follow that Geno Smith kind of route. Like, it's possible. I don't know if the Cardinals are taking that approach because, wow, that's tough though. Because like what happened with Geno is Russell wasn't even on the roster.
True.
Russell was just shipped out, and
True.
Geno was just given the keys and the reins. And then he just resurged his career. Kyler Murray's sitting right behind him, waiting to be activated. We don't know where he stands again, but if Kyler is ready, that's another thing. I don't even know. Well, I'll talk about that in just a second. But Geno, like, kind of just had like the reins of the offense. Like, okay, you're the starter. There's no expectations, and he just flourished above and beyond. And I didn't even know if he can maintain that going into this season, but he did. But Josh Dobbs has like no pressure right now. Honestly, I feel like he's playing with no pressure. Like the expectations for this team are at the bottom, as low as they can possibly get. And Josh Dobbs is thriving right now. Could be 3-0. Even Deebo Samuel came out and said it. He said exactly what I've been saying.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if the Cardinals are taking that approach necessarily. It's kind of just like playing it out maybe until he's ready. But the injury settlement, man, I forgot all about that. It just adds aspects into this thing, and it just gets so tricky with deadlines.
It does. We got Mike here in the chat. He says Ertz tore his ACL week 10, Kyler week 12. Kyler can play right now. They just don't want to eat that cap contract for the next 3 years if he gets hurt again. I mean, this is kind of what's going through Cardinals' minds right now. Like, let's be honest here. This is a move that makes sense. Obviously, if he's not fully ready to go, but like, I just wish Kyler Murray didn't give us this much hope. I wish Monty Austinfort didn't give us this much hope. And I get it, right? There is a level of, you do want to get Cardinal fans excited for just the season in general, right?
Yeah.
But like, why dangle that little
glimmer of hope at the top, just the light at the top of the road? And it's just like such a tease. Like you have Kyler posting like, soon you see all these like rehab things. Kyler drops cleats for when he's going to return. Like you have all these things that Kyler's dropping. Then Monty hops on 98.7 and he's talking about, yeah, as soon as he's eligible to return, we're going to have no hesitation. No hesitation. So obviously Kyler's not ready based on his wording, or he's just talking to talk.
Right.
But wow, it's a lot. It's so weird. The situation's so bizarre. And it's just like, we were teased this much. I think that's the part where the disappointment hits the hardest. Like if they're like 2 weeks ago, they're like, yeah, Kyler still is a couple weeks out, probably not going to activate him as soon as those 4 weeks are over, then I don't think any of us would be in this situation right now of like, okay, yeah, we kind of expected this. That's cool.
Right.
It was like, oh yeah, cool. He's most likely going to get activated as soon as possible. He might get activated next week. Who knows? But it's just the fact of like all these things kind of just add up to be very disappointing.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And I'm not blaming people. Like, I'm not trying to say you hurt our feelings. You gave us this, this false hope. I mean, I guess I kind of am, but like, man, it's very unfortunate. It really is. Now I'm starting to think as a Cardinal fan, the settlement, because like, we got to remember here, right? Like, we got to remember the history of what the Cardinals are, right? And I'm not saying, obviously, we're a completely different regime, but the owner's still the same. Michael Bidwell's still the same, right? We've heard the idea that Josh Rosen is our quarterback, right? And then we moved off of him from a year, right? We heard the idea that the Arizona Cardinals went to the pro day of Kyler Murray, but there was people saying, oh, it's their job to go to the, to these things because they're the GM, that they need to evaluate Kyler Murray. was it a week or two ago when USC was playing here at
Monty.
ASU? Monty Ossenfort was there doing his job, and I get is he's doing his job, 100%. That's your job, but like
Yeah.
it's just opening up more doors of like, dang, what is actually happening?
Because we don't know. We don't know what's going behind those doors. We don't know the conversations had. We don't know the plan. We don't know the direction. We don't know how Kyler's rehab's going. We don't know the connection they have. But it seems like it's going good. It seems like they have a great relationship. Kyler Murray's all smiles. I don't really think he would hide that situation. If he's unhappy, he's not smiling, he's not showing up, like looking the way he's looking. And I don't know. It's just so I can't stop saying it. It's just so bizarre. Like I can't like wrap my head around the whole situation because there's so many scenarios that could play out. And I guess in 3 weeks we'll kind of know more and kind of just be able to gauge it. But right now it's just it's literally just all guesses. Like we have no clue. The Cardinals have so many directions they can take this thing. And the fact he wasn't activated is just step one. Obviously, I'm not going to overreact just yet.
Right.
But there's just so many directions and turns and twists that this can take. So I guess we just sit back and kind of just like watch it play out. Because what we're getting fed is that Kyler will basically be coming back as soon as possible, as soon as he can. But it's week 4 and he's still not activated. Zach Ertz came back ready to go week 1. So it's just interesting. There's a lot of things that are just very interesting.
It is. I think that's the best way to describe it, right? Just kind of a wait and see to figure out what this new regime is going to do. I do see somebody in the chat here saying, remember, Monty Ossenfort didn't draft Kyler. And that's fair. Let's continue with the chat here. How are we going to feel if Dobbs keeps improving? Good, right? I mean,
yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, we'll feel good. We'll feel good. I mean, if there is going to be a moment where we're going to need to decide if Kyler Murray is a full go, but Dobbs is won us like 2 or 3 games, then obviously we'll decide then. It's just I think the big impact right now that we're dealing with is that like we're hearing so many things from this way, from that way. Like Monty Ossenfort, our general manager, love him. JG, our head coach, love him. I got no problem with anybody. It's just I feel like they're talking both polar opposite things. You know what I mean? Or at least what I'm reading into it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like polar opposites. It's like, I don't know. I really don't know how to gauge the situation. Like, it's so bizarre. Do you think he comes back before week 6? Or at least activated?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't come back before week 6, we have 21. Yeah, we have 21 days from Monday, essentially. Yeah. If we don't activate him from 21 days from Monday, which is 3 weeks essentially, that's going to put him in the PUP list for the remaining of the season. So we're going to find out either A, he's going to be removed, or B, he's not. Now, I was reading a little into it. You can trade a player that's on the PUP list. You can. Obviously, you would rather trade a player if he's on the PUP list in the first half as opposed to the second half because you don't want to force the other team to say, oh, he's in there forever, right? So there's that as well with the idea of that. So
okay, I don't know what just happened.
Oh, it's all good. No worries. So basically, we were just saying that like we have 21 days from Monday, essentially, to find out if we got to remove him off the PUP list.
Do you think he gets activated this season?
I think it's for the best interest for the Arizona Cardinals to activate him, and not just for the reason for the Cardinals to evaluate or to play him. But if you think about it, if the Cardinals' plan is to maybe move off, you got to remove off the PUP list for another team to play him, right?
Yeah.
Now, like I said, that's the extreme case scenario. And the only reason why we're talking about this is because I'm getting PTSD. I'm getting deja vu from the whole Josh Rosen situation. I get it, completely different regime. I get it, right? But if Joshua Dobbs truly gets us a win tomorrow, man, we're going to be talking so many different things, Mythic. It's going to be crazy.
I know. And the poll that you put out was already 18-82. He beats the Niners. That might jump up to like 30, maybe 40, maybe 50. Like the fan base is going to be jumping. Those are 2 of the top 5 best teams. And if they beat them, I kind of understand it.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. We got Mark Jackson says, I don't think he's coming back this season.
I don't know about that. It's smart for the Cardinals to activate him at the very least.
Yeah, it is smart because there's no point of not allowing him to play when obviously he can play, because the whole season at that point, I got to call BS.
Okay.
I got to call BS. If you're not going to activate him for the full season, I got to call BS.
Yeah,
because there needs to be a level of he can play sometime. Now, right now, yeah, I agree. Cool, keep him there. But you're talking about the whole season. I think he can play sometime towards the end part. I just don't know what's going to happen. I truly don't.
Absolutely. And then someone in chat said he has, where is it? He says we have 5 weeks from Monday. 3 weeks is once he's activated within the 5-week activation window. So that kind of changes things up a little bit.
Oh, that's true. So wait, 3 weeks is once he's activated.
Yeah, 3 weeks once he's activated within the 5-week activation window.
So was that a total of 8 weeks then?
If they push it off, I believe so. But I don't know. At least practice-wise, I would like to see him back on the field. Because, so we have 5 weeks after the 25. So it's 3 weeks once he's activated. Okay. Dang. That changes things up a little bit. But, like, at the same time, it's just like you want him back as soon as possible. Like, regardless.
I'm a little confused, though. 3 weeks is when he's activated within the 5-week activation window.
Yeah.
You get that?
Kinda.
Okay, because we're heading into week 4 right now. And he's eligible to get removed this Monday. So that would put us at 4 weeks into the NFL season.
I think it's like a total of 5. Like a total of 5 weeks. So it's like he has to be activated within that like time period, if that makes sense. So it's like 5 weeks total, I believe, is what he's trying to say.
Okay, so we can keep him on the PUP list for no more than 5 weeks?
I believe so.
Okay, because I'm looking at this, I think it's Sports Illustrated that I was reading here, and it said that we had additional 21 days from the activation date.
Okay, so he clarified. He said, so we have 5 weeks from Monday to make him eligible to practice. Then from there, we have 3 weeks to activate him from the roster. Okay, that makes sense.
So we have 5 weeks from Monday.
That makes sense.
Oh, to be eligible to practice. Okay, gotcha. Okay, and then 3 weeks. Gotcha. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I guess that gives us a little bit more, not panic.
Yeah, it helps a little bit, but I was expecting him to be activated.
Yeah, I truly was too. I truly was too. Okay, well, do you got anything else? I mean, obviously, we just wanted to go ahead and bring up this emergency pod. Just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, just another kind of reminder. We are streaming on both the Big Red Pod channel as well as the AZ Sports Fan. Once this stream is done, you will no longer be able to watch us on the replay on the AZ Sports Fan, but you will be able to do it on the Big Red Pod. We're going to be trying to be doing this podcast style type of content. We're hoping at least 2 pods per week as of right now, and then hopefully TBD will give you a schedule here pretty soon. But just FYI, check out the Big Red Pod, subscribe to it if you like this type of content, Cardinals related content.
Absolutely.
Okay. Anything else you want to add, Mythic?
I think that's it. It's just super disappointing.
Yeah.
I was really expecting it to happen. The disappointment's there after everything that came out. I kind of expected it. It's not here. We just kind of got to face that and kind of just monitor the situation. We got to make sure, just kind of see how this thing plays out. Because, I mean, there's a lot of twists and turns this thing can take, and it just depends what this new regime wants to go. Do they want Caleb Williams? Do they think Josh Dobbs could be that guy? Do they really want Kyler? I mean, I guess we just kind of got to sit back, watch it play out.
Here's the thing. Tomorrow's going to be very telling. I don't think tomorrow is the season. No, I'm not saying that. But it's going to be very, very telling tomorrow. If we come out with the win tomorrow, oh my God. Oh my God. All I got to say is this, Mythic. We're going to be going live 8 p.m. on my channel.
Yeah.
Most likely be opening up the phone lines. So giving you guys the opportunity to jump on to kind of react to that game. But we're going to be continuing this podcast type of format here on the Big Red Pod channel, just FYI. All right, man. We're going to go to close shop here. I appreciate everybody for coming through as always. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.
Yes, sir.